Hello and welcome live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy and coming up in the next 30 minutes. Delhi gets its first Namo Bharat connectivity with the inauguration of the 13-kilometer stretch of Delhi-Ghaziabad-Meerut corridor. Austria's ruling Conservatives meet to pick new leader after Chancellor Karl Nehammer quits as attempts to form a coalition government without the far right fail. And Australia beat India by 6 wickets in Sydney to reclaim the Border-Gavaskar trophy after a decade and seal the World Test Championship final spot. In a significant boost to regional connectivity in India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the much-awaited Namo Bharat rapid rail between Delhi and Meerut on Sunday. The PM flagged off the newly operational leg from Sahibabad in Uttar Pradesh to New Ashoknagar in Delhi, marking the beginning of an era of high-speed and efficient travel between the two cities. Take a look at this report by DD India's Dibyendu Mondal.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi boarded the Namo Bharat rapid rail at Sahibabad station, symbolizing the launch of the new 13-kilometer stretch between Sahibabad and New Ashoknagar in Delhi. This new addition to the Delhi-Meerut corridor is set to transform travel, bringing the national capital region closer than ever. During his journey on the state-of-the-art train, the Prime Minister also interacted with passengers, especially children, sharing smiles and conversations, making the journey memorable for all on board. With today's inauguration, the operational stretch of the Namo Bharat corridor now spans 55 kilometers, covering a total of 11 stations. The corridor's current stretch from Sahibabad to Meerut South is already functional, and the new addition links Delhi's New Ashoknagar to Meerut, further improving connectivity for thousands of daily commuters. The highlight of the new section is the rapid journey time. Traveling from New Ashoknagar to Meerut South will now take less than 40 minutes, reducing the usual travel time by a third. The Namo Bharat trains will operate every 15 minutes with fares from New Ashoknagar to Meerut South set at Rs 150. Namo Bharat trains have already served over 50 lakh commuters, underscoring the project's impact in easing travel and cutting down commute times. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of a seamlessly connected India is now one step closer, with Namo Bharat being a key part of the future of urban mobility. Dibyendu Mondal's report for DD India.
And Prime Minister Modi also addressed a public gathering in Delhi's Rohini on Sunday. He took a dig at the Delhi government for falsely accusing the central government of not allowing them to work properly.
दिल्ली पर आपदा लाने वाले ये झूठा आरोप लगाते हैं कि केंद्र सरकार उन्हें काम नहीं करने देती, केंद्र सरकार उन्हें पैसे नहीं देती। ये कितने बड़े झूठे हैं, इसका उदाहरण इनका शीश महल है। आज ही एक बड़े अखबार ने सीएजी रिपोर्ट के आधार पर शीश महल पर हुए खर्च का खुलासा किया है। और साथियों, आपको ये जानकर के पीड़ा होगी, दर्द होगा, अरे पूरे देश के लोग चौंक जाएंगे। जब दिल्ली के लोग कोरोना से जूझ रहे थे, जब दिल्ली के लोग ऑक्सीजन और दवाओं के लिए भटक रहे थे, तब इन लोगों का पूरा फोकस अपना शीश महल बनवाने में था। इन्होंने शीश महल का भारी भरकम बजट बनाया।
Now, India's Health Ministry on Saturday convened a joint monitoring group meeting in view of the HMPV outbreak causing rising cases of respiratory illnesses in China in the past few weeks. The ministry said it is closely monitoring the situation in China through all available channels and that the World Health Organization has also been requested to share timely updates regarding the situation there. The ministry further said that India is well prepared to handle respiratory illnesses and surveillance shows no unusual surge. It also said that the health systems and surveillance networks remain vigilant, ensuring the country is ready to respond promptly to any emerging health challenges. And in a significant milestone in space exploration endeavors, the Indian Space Research Organisation or ISRO has successfully demonstrated its first robotic arm in space. Sharing a video, ISRO posted on X, and I quote, "RRMTD, India's first space robotic arm, is in action on board POEM 4, a proud Make in India milestone in space robotics." RRMTD was launched on PSLV C-60 rocket alongside the SpaceX mission as one of the non-separating payloads on board POEM 4. It can be considered as an ancestor of the type of robotic arms that will be used on India's planned space station, the Bharatiya Antariksh Station. The success of this demonstration validates ISRO's technology and will allow it to move forward with the development of more advanced versions of this for use on the space station. With this achievement, ISRO becomes the fifth space agency to operate a robotic arm in space. India and Bangladesh are likely to exchange 185 fishermen and their vessels detained in their respective countries today. Dhaka agreed to hand over 95 Indian fishermen to Indian authorities in a reciprocal repatriation process. India too agreed to release 90 Bangladeshi fishermen detained in India. Besides, 2 Bangladeshi fishing vessels detained in India and 6 Indian fishing boats detained in Bangladesh will also be exchanged. Earlier on Thursday, Bangladesh authorities released the 95 Indian fishermen who were held in Bagarhat and Potokhali district jails and handed over to the Bangladesh Coast Guard to carry out the repatriation process. The 95 Indian fishermen were in Bangladesh jails for more than 2 months. The Indian Navy's stealth frigate INS Tushil arrived in Senegal's Dakar on Friday as part of its ongoing deployment. The visit aims to strengthen ties between India and Senegal with engagements involving senior military and government officials as well as showcasing India's advanced weapons and equipment. The ship will conduct training, host yoga sessions and promote Indian culture through social interactions. The visit will culminate in a passage exercise, also called PASSEX, and joint patrol with the Senegalese Navy to enhance maritime cooperation and regional security. And French Navy aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle arrived in Western India's Mormugan Port Trust jetty in Goa on Saturday. The French carrier strike group, which includes the Rafale marine fighter aircraft, will take part in the 42nd annual bilateral exercise Varuna with Indian Navy ships. The purpose of the visit is to enhance interoperability, foster mutual understanding and strengthen ties between the navies of India and France. France and India regularly cooperate to contribute to maritime safety in the Indian Ocean region. Since 2008, France has been a member of the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, which was initiated by India and brings together 25 navies. The aim of this forum is to increase collective effectiveness in tackling a range of maritime issues, including illegal trafficking, illegal fishing, search and rescue at sea, and pollution. Kaziranga National Park, situated in India's northeastern state of Assam, has seen a record 2.3 lakh visitors in the 2024-25 tourism season, including 7,600 international tourists. By December 2024, the park earned 5.9 crore rupees, with 2 crore rupees generated in December alone from 80,000 visitors. The park, famous for its one-horned rhinos, has also attracted tourists with sightings of tigers. Meanwhile, Assam Chief Minister Hemant Biswa Sarma, in a post on X, credited Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the surge in tourist visits to Kaziranga National Park. He highlighted that the PM's overnight stay at the park and his call for people to visit have led to a record-breaking footfall of 1.6 lakh tourists in the past 3 months, the highest in 20 years. Now, let's take a look at some other stories making news today. Well, at least 3 people lost their lives after an Indian Coast Guard ALH Dhruv chopper carrying 5 people crashed in Gujarat's Porbandar on Sunday. This incident took place during their routine training sortie. As part of the Cochin Carnival celebrations, over 2,000 people participated in a marathon organized by the Indian Coast Guard in Kerala's Kochi on Sunday. The event is aimed at promoting awareness about coastal security and encouraging community participation. The Ladakh Ski and Snowboard Association organized an 8-day skiing course, including practical skiing sessions on the snow slopes of Ladakh's Suru Valley. The initiative aims to showcase the region's potential as a winter adventure destination for tourists. Following the restoration of India's Jammu and Kashmir's Bhadarwah-Pathankot National Highway, hundreds of tourists thronged to the Bhadarwah-Guldanda meadow after it received heavy rainfall on Sunday. Looks like snowfall to me though. Guldanda, which is located at almost 10,000 feet altitude, has become a popular destination for visitors from across the country during the winter season. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. Suicide bombing in Pakistan's Balochistan province kills at least 8 security personnel. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken heads to Asia and Europe on his last expected trip as top American diplomat. An energy crisis deepens in Moldova's breakaway Transnistria region after Russian gas flows through Ukraine were halted on New Year's Day.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Goa, an adventure paradise like none other. From lush forests to rugged hills, from pristine ocean beach stretches to stunning lakes, there is something to explore in every corner of the state. And some adventures are wilder than others. Watch Postcards from Goa on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, Austria's Conservative People's Party has reportedly chosen Secretary General Christian Stoker to replace Chancellor Karl Nehammer as the party's leader. Nehammer announced his resignation as efforts to form a government without the far-right Freedom Party fell apart amid deep divisions. The Freedom Party won September's election with 29% of the vote. Nehammer, who called FPO leader Herbert Kickl a conspiracy theorist, refused to partner with the party despite their shared stance on immigration. With no majority coalition possible, Austria faces 2 stark options: allow Kikil to attempt forming a government or call snap elections.
Following the breakdown of talks, I will act as following. I will step down as Federal Chancellor and also as a Chairman of the People's Party in the next few days and facilitate an orderly transition. This orderly transition is particularly important to me because I have always stood for stability in our country and in People's Party.
Sind zu meinem Bedauern aus den Verhandlungen ausgestiegen.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on a trip to South Korea, Japan and France. Blinken's trip is happening at a crucial time when South Korea is facing a political crisis. On Friday, South Korea's presidential guards and military troops prevented authorities from arresting impeached President Yoon, who is under criminal investigation for insurrection over his failed martial law bid. During his visit to South Korea, Secretary Blinken will meet with senior government officials to discuss ways to promote a free, open and prosperous Indo-Pacific region, as well as trilateral efforts with Japan. In France, the top U.S. diplomat will discuss challenges in West Asia and Europe amid ongoing efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza. At least 8 security personnel were killed and 40 others injured in a suicide bomb blast in the Balochistan province of Pakistan. The blast, which took place in the Dhang area of Turbat city on Saturday, targeted a passenger van and a police security vehicle adjacent to the van. Following the blast, police and security forces reached the incident site and cordoned off the area, while the injured were moved to the nearest hospital. Separatist group Baloch Liberation Army has claimed responsibility for the attack. The latest attack is part of an ongoing series of attacks by the PLA in Balochistan, which have been targeting military convoys, security checkposts and police vehicles. Russia claimed on Saturday to have intercepted 8 US-made missiles and downed 72 drones, while capturing a settlement in Luhansk. The Russian Ministry of Defense also reported multiple strikes on Ukrainian military sites, resulting in over 540 casualties and the loss of 4 tanks for Ukraine. In a significant development, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken revealed that the U.S. had been supplying weapons to Ukraine since 2021, fueling tensions with Russia, which condemned NATO's military support. As Ukraine faces mounting challenges, Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal has announced a record defense budget and plans to increase military production. Also, Russia said that Ukraine had launched a counterattack in the Kursk region on Sunday. Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement that its troops have repelled 2 Ukrainian attacks into the Kursk region. Ukrainian troops from past 5 months are resisting Russian attempts to eject them from Kursk after their surprise incursion in the region on the 6th of August last year. And Russia declared a regional state of emergency on Saturday in Crimea as workers cleared tons of contaminated sand and earth on either side of the Kerch Strait following an oil spill in the Black Sea last month. The Kerch Strait runs between the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov and separates Crimea's Kerch Peninsula from Russia's Krasnodar region. Rescue workers have so far cleared more than 86,000 metric tons of contaminated sand and soil. The oil leaked from 2 aging tankers that were hit by a storm on the 15th of December. One sank and the other ran aground. More than 10,000 people have been working to shovel up viscous, foul-smelling fuel oil from sandy beaches in and around Anapa, a summer resort. Environmental groups have reported deaths of dolphins, porpoises and seabirds. In a deepening energy crisis, residents of Moldova's breakaway Transnistria region face escalating power cuts after Russian gas flows to Ukraine halted on New Year's Day. The halt followed Kyiv's refusal to renew a transit deal with Russia, leaving Transnistria and its thermal power plant without fuel to generate electricity. Without gas from Gazprom to fuel its thermal plant, Transnistria has extended rolling blackouts to 4 hours daily, leaving homes without heating as temperatures plunge to minus 10 degrees Celsius. Industries have shut down, sparing only food production, as officials urge residents to conserve resources. Moldova, reliant on Transnistria's power plant for cheap electricity, blames Russia for the chaos, demanding gas rerouted through Turk Stream. Moscow, however, points fingers at Kyiv for the impasse. Meanwhile, Transnistria's vital power supply to Moldova remains precariously disrupted. The Israeli military said on Sunday that it had struck more than 100 terror targets in the Gaza Strip over the past 2 days and eliminated dozens of Hamas terrorists. Several of the strikes by Israeli Air Force targeted sites from which Hamas had been firing projectiles into Israel in recent days. Last week, Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz warned of intensified Israeli strikes if the incoming rocket fire continued. On ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, the Israeli Defense Minister has accused the militants of not meeting the terms of a ceasefire. The minister said Hezbollah had still not withdrawn its forces beyond the Litani River in southern Lebanon, and warning Hezbollah, he added that if they do not withdraw, Israel will be forced to act to ensure the safe return of residents in the north. Former Greek Prime Minister Kostas Simitis, known as the modernizer of Greek politics, passed away on Sunday at the age of 88. The government declared 4 days of mourning for him. Simitis, who had no known health issues, had been vacationing at his summer residence close to Athens in the Peloponnese in recent days. Simitis was a key figure in Greece's political landscape, serving as Socialist Party leader and Prime Minister from 1996 to 2004. Japanese authorities began culling approximately 50,000 chickens on Sunday after a bird flu outbreak at a farm in Japan's northern Iwate region. This comes after increasing deaths of fowl reported from a farm due to bird flu. The country's agricultural ministry said that it is the 19th bird flu outbreak of the season in Japan. Meanwhile, the ministry has also banned the movement of 170,000 birds kept at 2 farms of the Iwate region. Now, in a weather update, really, a powerful winter storm hit the United States on Sunday, with meteorologists warning millions in the east facing blizzard conditions. The warning also issued for heaviest snowfall in a decade in some areas. In the storm, more than 60 million people of the U.S. are said to be plunged into a deep freeze of Arctic air, resulting in severe travel disruptions. And a similar situation is there in the UK as well, where heavy snow has disrupted air travel with runways closed at airports in Bristol and Liverpool. The second most serious warning for snow and freezing rain was in place for much of Wales, central England and parts of northwestern England. In Germany, snow and black ice forced the cancellation on Sunday of dozens of flights to Frankfurt Airport, which is the largest airport of the country. And in sports, there's been huge heartbreak for India as the cricket team has lost the Border-Gavaskar trophy after a decade with a 6-wicket loss to Australia on day 3 of the 5th and final test in Sydney. Australia chased down 162 runs with Travis Head and Bo Webster taking the team home. India lost the 5-match series 1-3. Resuming day 3 at 141 for 6, India lost their remaining 4 wickets for 16 runs to be all out for 157 in their second innings. Pat Cummins and Scott Boland share the wickets in the session, with Boland completing a 6-wicket haul and winning the player of the match. Meanwhile, Jasprit Bumrah becomes the player of the series with 32 wickets in 5 matches. With this win, Australia have also qualified for the World Test Championship final against South Africa. And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code on the screen, download the app right away. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.